we're learning more about the teens involved in the botched robbery that left one of them dead and 6 others now arrested.
Some of them have a criminal history, including the one who died.
The district attorney's office says half the teens involved in yesterday's incident have a criminal background, and the DA saying this is a disturbing trend and that enough is enough.
They actually shoot guns into a car. 3 bullets go into the passenger of that car. The 14-year-old's dead because the driver of that vehicle shot back and shot and killed that 14-year-old. This is too much. Enough is enough. This is exactly the kind of situation. 4 of these 8 kids have criminal history, and they've already been in the criminal justice system. One of them as young as 10 years old.
3 of the 7 teenagers arrested for a suspected botched robbery in Albuquerque in court today.
I spoke to a concerned woman who reported some of the teens missing and asked police for help just days before.
3 teenagers before a judge Friday afternoon after police say 8 of them, ages 12 to 17, tried to rob a couple near Copper and Tramway early Wednesday morning.
There was a mens rea shared by everyone in that car to commit violent acts upon members of this community.
Investigators say a 14 and 15-year-old shot a woman multiple times, causing her husband to shoot back, killing one of the teens. But a concerned woman says she called Albuquerque police days before, trying to prevent this.
They weren't home.
And they were supposed to be home?
Yes.
She says 2 of the teens were reported missing over the weekend. And just 12 hours later, a disturbing video allegedly appearing on social media with some of the juvenile suspects.
There was several teens in that video being aggressive with each other. Someone was fighting in that video. Towards the end, somebody said, "Pull out your gun."
She tells KOAT she called police again, and hours later, officers showed up and allegedly told her there was nothing they could do.
I was freaked out, worried, and my thought was if APD maybe looked more into that video, maybe none of that would have happened.
A judge deciding all 3 teens who appeared before her Friday afternoon will stay in jail for now.
Albuquerque police sending us a statement saying in part this: a missing persons report was filed and in the process of being reviewed when the shooting occurred. They also said the report alone would not have changed the outcome. The department also says one of the teens cut off his ankle monitor and was wanted by probation and parole at the time. At 6 o'clock, for the first time, we hear from the victims of the robbery and what they had to say to a judge.
A group of 8 teens tried to rob a couple while they sat in their Jeep at an apartment complex off of Tramway north of I-40. They say one of the suspects, 15-year-old Jariah Salas, along with 14-year-old suspect Alonzo Sanderson, shot the woman in the passenger seat of the Jeep. The woman's husband shot back at the teen several times, striking Alonzo, killing him, and grazing 15-year-old Janaya Pino. The woman who was shot is expected to be okay. Police confirming to us today that Alonzo went missing back in 2022. APD say they have arrested all 7 teens involved in the botched robbery.
Well, I can tell you this, 7 arrest warrants were issued for the 8 kids. The only reason the 8th didn't get one is because he's dead.
The teens, 16-year-old Jocelyn Pino, 14-year-old Elijah Gutierrez, 12-year-old Jathan Gutierrez, 17-year-old Vicente Pino, 15-year-old Janaya Pino, 13-year-old Levi Salas, and 15-year-old Jariah Salas.
This is really out of control. I don't know whether or not all the parents were involved in it, but I can tell you this, some of them will be named in our petitions that we file.
Some of the teens have a criminal record. APD say Alonzo had an extensive record with the department. We told you about Jariah Salas back in 2022 when he was arrested for robberies he's accused of committing with his uncle. The DA calling on the legislature to act.
Kids need to get consequences when they first see the criminal justice system. It's very, very important that we just don't put them on probation, slap them on the hand and say, don't worry about it, and give you a hug.
APD says that 2 of the teens turned themselves in today and the other 5 were taken in yesterday.
What a mess. Here we have 8 teens, well, 7 teens, 1 dead for trying to take something from somebody. Yeah, man, that man did the right thing. It's just unfortunate that this was a group of children, because I'm imagining that he probably thought it was some grown-ups, and all he saw that Somebody opened this door and just went to shooting, and his wife was being shot, so it was only right for him to return fire. But like you heard that governor said, the parents very well might be facing charges. It's something I said earlier. If they start giving charges to the parents, this stuff will stop overnight. Got another one for you out of Eustis, Florida. Brazen armed robbery caught on camera at a local 7-Eleven. Let's check it out.
This is new surveillance video showing the moment a suspect walks into a 7-Eleven with a gun. Watch as that suspect points the gun right at a clerk's head, demanding money. And tonight, that suspect is still on the run.
And in that 911 call, you can actually hear the clerk from inside of this 7-Eleven describing the moments that suspect pointed a gun at her. And we're also going to show you that exclusive surveillance video, which, as you mentioned, you can see specifically as the gun is pointed at her and he's demanding the money. Now, after the robbery, he takes off outside of that 7-Eleven, eventually running across this street before taking off into the darkness down State Route 44.
You want one?
A 7-Eleven employee robbed at gunpoint around 1 a.m. on Wednesday.
He didn't even hesitate. He walked in the door. I was mopping. I greeted like I always do. And he met me at the cooler doors at gunpoint.
That store's security camera shared exclusively with Fox 35, capturing it all as the armed man appears to point a gun at the clerk as she filled his drawstring backpack up with cash.
He was in all black. He definitely thought it out. Because out here, if you're in all black, ain't nobody gonna see you.
The Lake County Sheriff's Office is now searching for the suspect. Investigators say he's a black man around 6 feet tall with a slender build. Video shows him leaping the counter and running off right past Big D's Barbecue just across the street.
I hope he don't come for me. I just hope so. Because it's going to be a gunfight.
Donovan says his food truck is a family-owned business that can't afford to lose any cash.
Oh, my Lord.
And an armed robbery so close has Donovan a bit on edge.
This is how I feed my kids. I got 4 kids, and this is how I feed, you know. This is how I live. I pay my mortgage, pay my truck payment, you know. It's not going down without a fight, bro. Sorry.
So glad that clerk escaped with a life. A low life come in and rob this lady, man. I know this had to be one of the scariest ordeals of her life. So it was good she knew what to do under the circumstances. Stay calm, give this maniac what he wants, and then let him go and then call the authorities and let them do their thing. But a lot of people try to fight back, and that's when it usually goes completely left. But hopefully they get this fool off the streets. And again, we're happy that the clerk didn't lose her life. He just got the money and fled into the night. But Big D, if he would have tried that with Big D, yeah, it would have been a shootout. I could look at this guy and tell he's not going for any of that. Man, trying to make a living to feed his family, and you're going to come rob him? Yeah, I know a lot of people like him. You're going to have to unalive him first, because he's definitely going to unalive the robber if he gets a chance. And as he should. But I'm here to tell you, trying to buck a robbery usually ends bad. Thank you for watching Prime Crime Network, your source for urban and suburban and around the world news. Hit the subscribe, like, and the notification bell